So welcome everybody, my name's Hayley Jarrick and I'm the CEO of the Supply Chain Sustainability School, and I'm going to be facilitating this session today. We're going to have a couple of speakers as we go through, but you'll see and be introduced to those as we get to them. Before we get started, in the spirit of reconciliation, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. And we'd like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. In terms of the agenda for this webinar, we're going to take you through 4 sections about this project. So we're going to take you through some details about the project, then I'm going to introduce you and tell you a little bit about the school. We're going to give you some tips for your project's internal workforce, and then explain what the supply chain needs to do next.
Hi everyone, my name's Erin Knapp and I am the Sustainability Lead for Redfern Station Upgrade, and I'm going to be taking you through a brief introduction about the project. The Transport Access Program is an initiative to provide a better experience for public transport customers by delivering accessible, modern, secure and integrated transport infrastructure. The project involves the construction of a new 6-metre wide concourse connecting Little Everleigh and Marion Streets to the above ground platforms at Redfern Station. The key features of the project are expected to include a 6-metre wide concourse between Little Everleigh and Marion Streets, new stair and lift access from the concourse to platforms 1 to 10, a new entrance at the southeastern end of the concourse at Marion Street, a new entrance at the northwestern end of the concourse at Little Everleigh Street, upgrade works to Marion, Cornwallis, Rosehill Streets, Gibbons Street and Little Everleigh Street to facilitate safe access to and from the concourse, footpath upgrade works along Ivy Street, and associated upgrades and or adjustments to services, signalling, overhead wiring and utility upgrades. Next slide, please. The definition of sustainability is the study of how natural systems function, remain diverse and produce everything it needs for the ecology to remain in balance. Sustainability looks to protect the natural environment, human and ecological health while driving innovation. Sustainability means different things to different people. Next slide. 17 Sustainable Development Goals were established at the UN Sustainable Development Summit in 2015. The Sustainable Development Goals are often referred to as the SDGs. The SDGs are a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address global challenges we face, including poverty, inequality, climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. The project has aligned with a number of SDGs, including 4 quality education, 6 clean water and sanitation, 7 affordable and clean energy, 8 decent work and economic growth, 9 industry, innovation and infrastructure, 10 reduced inequalities, 11 sustainable cities and communities, 12 responsible consumption, 13 climate action, 15 life on land and 17 partnership for the goals. Next slide. So now I'm going to take you into some background to sustainability. 3 core areas contribute to sustainability, including economic development, social development, and environmental protection. The economic pillar is about giving people what they want without compromising quality of life and reducing the financial burden of doing the right thing. The social development pillar is about maintaining access to basic resources without compromising quality of life and the protection of health from pollution and harmful activities. The environmental protection pillar is about natural resource use, environmental management, and pollution prevention. Next slide. All areas are interlinked with each other, and sustainability issues should consider all aspects to prevent one element having negative consequences on another element. Next slide. So here's an example of sustainability with building a new head office. When building a new office, a number of sustainability aspects need to be considered. From an economics point of view, the design of the new building should be guided on financial costs and gains. But from a social point of view, it needs to address the workers and customer requirements, such as childcare services and parking availability. From an environmental point of view, the building should incorporate energy and water efficient devices, the reuse of materials, and reduce biodiversity losses from vegetation and habitat removal. All three pillars should be considered together. Next slide. The Infrastructure Sustainability Council of Australia is a member-based, not-for-profit peak body operating in Australia and New Zealand with the purpose of enabling sustainability outcomes in rating. This is achieved through the Infrastructure Sustainability Rating Scheme for planning, design, construction and operations of infrastructure assets. The project is working under the IS rating scheme, and we are required to achieve an excellent design and as-built rating, which is a rating of 67 or above out of a 100-point scale. Next slide, please.
Great, thank you. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Supply Chain Sustainability School. And to take you through these steps, I suppose, and sort of setting your expectations about what we're going to talk about. A lot of the things we're going to go through might seem like they're in really granular detail, explaining exactly how the system functions. And what we would like you to keep in mind is that these are about planting a seed in your mind as to the functionality that the school can offer, and to let you know that these resources are available to you, so that you can always come back to this video at a future point in time to look at the detail. So just remember that you don't need to remember everything we're about to say or write everything down, but just to trigger some points in your memory so that you can look back on this later. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things about who we are, and then take you through your personal dashboard when you sign up to the school, and then what your part of the dashboard looks like when you sign into the school as well. So how do we operate? So we're a not-for-profit organisation that's funded by our partner organisations, and we offer free learning resources that we provide to the public through free membership on our website. We develop learning materials that increase the industry's competency in sustainability and support all of our existing industry and not-for-profit efforts in the space. We do this by offering a common language about sustainability, and to develop that language, we collaborate with industry and collaborate with knowledge institutions to ensure that we're all talking about the same thing. We like to lead the upskilling of the industry through this education by offering a really diverse delivery of different types of resources and enabling knowledge sharing by innovators within the industry as well. So what you'll see when you come to our website is that we have a full catalogue of resources that are available in all different diverse delivery methods. So we've got e-learning modules, tools, events, videos, documents and links, all for your pleasure to enjoy and work your way through the learning, all about different topics. So we cover things from sustainable procurement to biodiversity, local community and economy, through to modern slavery and human rights. Our organisation is funded and supported by leading organisations. So all of these wonderful organisations you see on the screen at the moment provide financial and in-kind support to the school to keep us running, and wanted to pay a special thanks out to Laing O'Rourke, who, as part of their partnership contribution to the school, have paid contributions that you're benefiting from specifically for this project. So in terms of tips for your particular internal workforce, the first one is just to point out that the way that you're using our school and this platform is a world first. So the Redfern Station Upgrade new Southern Concourse project has been sponsored by Laing O'Rourke, and what that means is that this is the first of a project management upgrade that we've done for any project within the world with the Supply Chain Sustainability School. And so instead of being able to access all of our partner privileges through Laing O'Rourke's account, what we've done for this particular project is set up the Redfern Station Upgrade project as a separate partnership account. And then all of the benefits available to partners are available to this project without the noise of having all of Laing O'Rourke's other projects in with the same system as yours as you go through. So that's what we mean by a dedicated partner access account. We also created a custom course collation for this project with custom certificates. And of course, we put on a couple of these webinars for the project as well. This project is also seeking the, I know we mentioned before about the ISCA's IS rating scheme and how we're looking to get some credits within that system. Within that point scheme, there are Innovation Challenge credits available. And this project is targeting Innovation Challenge 6, which is supply chain education. As part of that Innovation Challenge, it means that all employees must complete climate change, materials, waste, energy, carbon and sustainable construction, as well as contractors and subcontractors completing the environmental management. Particularly for this project, what we've done is amended the standard Innovation Challenge education requirements for this project, as it was seen that energy and carbon would be more relevant to this project than the biodiversity standard module that's available within that innovation credit. So when you come in to sign up for your account, the process is fairly simple. It's pretty much the same as the way you'd create an account on most websites at the moment. In the top right-hand corner, there's a login or sign up button. If you have an account, you log in. If you don't, you can sign up. And that sign up form takes you to an account where you can enter some of your personal details. Not too personal, but just some information about you to set you up in the system and link you through to the accounts. After you've created your account, it'll ask you which contractors you supply to. If you're working as part of internally for the Novo Rail group, you can skip this step because that's already been done for you. And then when you come through to the page where it says company registration, if you're using a @novorail.com.au email account, it will prompt you to say, would you like to join the Novo Rail Alliance company? Then you can just hit next. If that prompt doesn't come up for you, or maybe if you're using a different email address but like to join the Novo Rail account, then you can click can't find your company, search for your company and then find it, or if you're a part of a new company, you can add one yourself as well. You can choose your own password and set all this up, and then once you've set all of that up, you are logged into the system. The default screen it will take you to after you create an account is what we call your personal dashboard. In terms of what that looks like, it's basically all of your account details that you just entered, and similar the same way you'll see for any other sort of web-based system. In the top left-hand corner, you'll see your name, an avatar of yourself, and a link to toggle between your company and your personal account. In the top section, you'll see a link back to where all of your personal assessments are. You can look at where your current score is and how your baseline relates to others in the industry. And you can also view all of your assessment history in this section. Underneath that, you can look at your personal action plan. So after you've done an assessment, based on the answers to your assessment and the industry and profession that you said that you've told us that you work in, we'll create an action plan for you of suggested resources to help your personal journey in sustainability as it moves through. Underneath that, you'll also see some activities. So you'll see things around your events, you'll see things about the activity of things that you've already logged into in the past, and you'll see some catalogue and course registration requirements in there in this space as well. If you click through to your resource history, you'll see a breakdown of everything you've ever clicked on and whether you finished it or not. So if you're going back and you think you've started something but you haven't finished it, you can always find partially completed modules in this section and then follow the links to pick up where you left off. Once you've successfully completed an e-learning module, the e-learning module will give you a certificate of completion, and those can be found in the section in the top left-hand corner as well. If you then click through to your partner dashboard by either using the icon in the top left-hand corner of your screen, or you can follow the text link that says take me to my company dashboard, then you'll come through and this will be about your company. So you can have your individual user, tracking and monitoring, and then you come through to the company. In the company page, you can find out who your company owner's details are and view all of your colleagues that are linked back to your account by just looking in the Our People section. And then clicking on the View All Colleagues will take you to this wonderful screen, so you'll be able to see who else has been linked through from your company. You'll also be able to see their role and their owner. So all of your owners and admins can change the other owners and admin status of people through your account. By default, you'll be coming in at a member access, which means that you can't really change anything in relation to what your company does. But if you are an owner or an admin on your account, what it means is that you can create company action plans and do company self-assessments. And then from your company action plan, you can allocate actions to individuals to complete. By doing that, your company then increases its membership levels in our system. And we have a bronze, silver, gold status system around what company levels mean. The admins within the system pretty much have the same functionality as the owners, and so you can, if you're the owner and you don't want to manage the account settings all by yourself, you can assign admins to help you. Similarly, if you're an admin and you don't think you should be an admin, then you can jump yourself down to a member as well within the system. So users that have requested to join the account, so this is purely for admins as they come in, they'll come in as pending users. So that means that if you've signed up and you've said, I want to join the Novo Rail Alliance, you can't actually gain access to this company information until an admin or an owner of your account verifies that you're part of that company. And that just gives you that personal security in knowing that there is a two-step verification system in being able to see all of those company details and information. All the pending requests are located on the View Colleagues screen in the pending section. Similarly, you can invite colleagues to join by using the Invite Colleagues button on the right, and they appear in the Invited tab. So when you come back to look at that, your company dashboard, I know I mentioned before about joining different membership levels. What level you are at the moment will appear on the top left-hand the screen, and you can download your badge if you wanted to use the bronze, silver and gold badges through the system. And probably more in a useful sense, on the right, it tells you what your progress is to your next goal. So if you're currently silver and you're trying to get gold, it'll tell you exactly what you need to do and what your next steps are in order to step up to be gold or silver to bronze or whatever the next steps for you may be. Your company assessments are all saved and accessed within the system as well. So you can look at your current score and your baseline and reflect that in terms of how you're sitting with the rest of the members on the system and where they sit. You can also look through the history and view all previous assessments as well. And then within the dashboard, if your company has been set up for different industry types, then it will actually compare your data based on how you're sitting within other industry types and scores as well. You can open the action plan and assign resources to colleagues just by clicking the action plan button on the company dashboard. And in the activity section, you can actually use this to see what the aggregated data is for everybody within your company and how they've seen everything. So for people in this, specifically for this project, so it's, because you've got you're targeting the innovation challenge requirements of this project, it means you have to do specific resources. And so we've described and set them up for you on your own page. To find that page or exactly what the requirements are for this project, it's accessible through the menu system of the website. So if you click on the Learn menu, you'll see that the Redfern Station Upgrade New Southern Concourse project is linked through on that menu. When you click that, you'll come to this page. So this page is just a general summary of what things are, and you'll find the 3 buttons there. The first one there is just reminding you that you need to either sign up or log in order to see the details for this project. Once you've done that, then the second button along the screen will take you through to a page that shows you the project sustainability and training targets. And that page looks like this. So it takes you through some of those basic requirements, exactly what the training requirements are, a little bit about the project, and when you scroll down to get started, then you'll see what you need to do next, and it'll point out those same 6 modules that we mentioned before are the 6 e-learning modules that you're required to complete for the innovation challenge requirements for this project. Specifically, if I step you through what they are and sort of a little bit about them. So the climate change adaptation e-learning module will take you through sort of what climate change is, why it's important, and how to conduct climate change risk assessments and develop adaptation plans. The materials e-learning module takes you through environmental and social impacts of materials, how these impacts can be mitigated, how your business can benefit from using ethical and environmentally friendly construction materials. The waste e-learning module will take you through an overview of the waste impacts of the construction centre and waste mitigation and cost saving measures. The carbon and energy e-learning module will take you through what carbon and energy is, why it's important, and how your business can reduce energy consumption and carbon emissions. The Sustainable Construction e-learning module define what sustainable development and construction is, take you through why this is important to business and help you and how to implement this within the business. The Environmental Management e-learning module will take you through the benefits of an environmental management system and how to move beyond compliance in this space. And once you've completed all 6 of those e-learning modules, you get a certificate for each of those as you complete them. But to simplify things for this project, we've set you up, you'll also get a course, a project certificate, just so you've got that one point of reference to say that you've completed all 6 of those e-learning modules. If we go back to the company dashboard for a second, you'll also notice that on the left-hand side there's a section there for priority suppliers. So this is the section where this project can add all of the key suppliers to the project into a contact list, I suppose, is for want of a better word. And then we can, once you've got them in the priority suppliers list, then you can do a few wonderful things on this page, like being able to monitor when they've completed assessments. You can run reports on what they've completed. You can set them targets and track to see whether they've completed them or not, and navigate a few other fun things to be able to manage through that as well. So this is what the targets table looks like. You can actually assign individual resources or set learning paths up to set targets, or you can set targets to say that you'd like your priority suppliers to be bronze by 3 months' time, in time framed and things like that. And then this tracking table on the right will just let you know exactly who's achieved it and by when, and whether it's overdue or not. Once you have assigned a target to a company, the targets will appear within their company dashboards to say that they have a target that's active that they need to complete. So that links nicely through to say, well, what does your supply chain need to do next? So your supply chain follows the same sort of methodology that as an internal workforce member of Novo Rail would do in this setup. So you can access it through the same menu items. So like I said, learn, go to the Redfern Station Upgrade page, it'll take you to this page, it'll prompt you to create an account, or if you don't have one, log in. Their sign up looks pretty much the same way you would have gone through in sign up. And by doing that and creating an account, they get a stack of free benefits with the school. So there's a few things to point out to them when they do this. The first thing is that membership is free. So they don't have to pay to create that account. It's usually the first question that they ask is, how much is it going to cost me to come and do this training? So it won't cost them anything. They can create an account for free. They can have as many users on that subscription for their company as they like. There's no limits involved in that. They will be able to upskill their workforce online through the resource catalogue. We've got hundreds of resources in there for them to use. So after they've completed the 6 required for your project, they still have access to the rest of the catalogue, and there's no additional fees for accessing any more of that within the system. They then can attend all of our events and promote their products and services and build networks, and we hold workshops and industry events. Stay up to speed with as many users signed up to our newsletter as they like, so there's no limit to that. And then similarly, in the way that we went through the membership levels for the project, their accounts can track from member, bronze, silver and gold up through the status of that as well. But like we said, why everyone should be a member, don't take our word for it. We know that sustainability is increasingly being used in tender applications and to win work. We know that 70% of our members reported that sustainability knowledge is becoming more important within the last year, and that 72% of our members have seen economic, social or environmental benefits from improved supply chains in this space. And then why we encourage people to sign up for an account for the school is that we know that 75% of our members see all of our resources as the go-to online resource for supply chain knowledge and information. So they can always come back to us in future and learn a bunch of additional things beyond the 6 requirements for this project. And it's a perpetual resource that they can always come back to and view things over and over again to benefit their businesses. When they sign up, so like I said, this process is very similar to the way that the Novo Rail employee sign up is. You hit sign up, you come through and enter your details. when it asks you to link back through to your contractors, you can just search for the contractors that they link into, so they can search for Lang O'Rourke and other providers in this space and let them know that they supply to them in the system. Then when they come to register the company, search for their first. If you have a company that's already existing, you can link up to it. If you're the very first employee from your company that's creating the account, then you can click on the button that says can't find your company, and it'll prompt you to add details in to create a company account, and then you'll become the company owner of that account as the first user. If you're using a work email address in this space, then by default, the domain name will prompt you to join a company if it's already in the system and exists. But that isn't restricted to users with the domain name of their email address. So often we'll get questions around, what if all of my employees don't have work email addresses? What can they do? Every employee can sign up using their personal email, that's fine. And then they can always search and request to join the company account from their personal email address. So the system won't limit you to stop doing that. And like I said, the check step in place there is that an owner or an admin of that company account must verify that you do work there. So it's not particularly linked in that way, and that every individual employee can set up their own account and then transfer their learning history with them if they move on from your company to another one. And then in terms of what that member dashboard, so the member dashboard kind of looks like the partner dashboard, but with less functionality. Obviously the partner dashboard has all the bells and whistles the partnership gives you access to, and the member dashboard is a little bit more simplified in that way. But they still have the icons in the top left to switch between your personal and company dashboards. You can still download your membership level badge, and you can still find out how to get to the next level. You can see who your account owner is, and you can see who else new company has signed up and what they've completed, and invite you and your colleagues to join. You can track your company assessments and benchmark yourself against others. You can view your action plans and allocate resources to colleagues to complete, and keep track of how you're going with all of your activities in exactly the same way as partnership can. And like I said, all of this functionality is available completely free to anybody who creates an account on the site. Then after they've created that account, they can find the resources in exactly the same way we spoke about before. Jump on the Learn menu, access the Redfern Station Upgrade page. Now that they've got it, you've logged in and you're registered, you can click on the second button. It'll take you through to the project training requirements, which will then take you through to the screen that shows you the 6 that you need to complete in order to fulfill the requirements for the Innovation Challenge credit for this project. So thank you for joining us today. I know that's a lot of information to take you through about the project and specifically about the school and how to set up your accounts within the school, and then what suppliers will see as they join and come on through. Like I alluded to earlier, a lot of this information was just about planting the seed, and we hope that as you move forward with this and go to sign that up and you try to sign up yourself, that little seed has sprouted. And as you look through and click through the functionality and do this yourself, it will become a little bit more familiar to you than if you tried to do it without having seen this video first. Please also remember that this video is always going to be available as a resource later on. So if you do complete all of the steps and you come all the way through it and then you forget a little bit of it, or you think, oh, I remember seeing that in that video, but I'm not sure exactly what I was supposed to do, you can always come back and look and learn to do that again. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.